Hello guys, Kuro of Aishi-en Gaming here, with another video for Proxy. As you can see, I'm back on the same world I did the path on before, and okay, I'm getting out of this view, it's way too hard to control. So I figured I'd just use the same places before since I already had the world built. I still can't believe out of all of Proxy's fans I got third for this. I honestly thought I'd be closer to the bottom. So, on with the new stuff. So, Proxy, you were wanting a smithy, and you had said if anyone had any ideas for a dock to submit them to, and I'll get to the smithy stuff here shortly. I'm not nearly good enough to create a building, but I can come up with ideas. So I'll start with the dock because it's shorter. I just recreated a mini dock down here for it. The only other thing I came up with was a set of chairs that people can fish from and that kind of thing. These being like normal chairs for fishing that you can just go in and sit and cast a line out. If you've ever seen, I think it's marlins that people fish for, they have these big chairs where they strap themselves in and they have a footboard that they can push themselves against to keep from being pulled off the boat when they're fishing for them. And that's kind of what I tried to recreate here. So that's kind of the idea there. Not really that much, but I was working more on the smithing stuff up there. Speaking of, let's go back up. You had said that you wanted it to be a 2-layer building, and my first thought with 2-layer building is underground, especially when it comes to smithing. So I thought, and I won't use it because I'm apparently bad with powered rails, having something like this where you could have a minecart with a chest in it that could go from the bottom to the top, like they work on the stuff in the underside of the smithy, and then when they're done there, they send it up via minecart to the people working up above to put it on the racks or whatever else. And that was just kind of the idea there, to show a bit about how it would look, how it would work, that kind of thing. In the smithy portion of it, I do have quite a few ideas for there. I'll admit I didn't come up with this particular part of it, the chains to hang it from, but I couldn't really think of anything better, so I just went with this. You could either go with the cauldron with the water in it, or go with something like this, to where it's a half slab on the bottom with upside down stairs to keep the water in to give a bucket look. If you go with this one, you could go like I have it with the 4, or you can take off one side to have it able to tip down so you could actually pour water from it onto something or into something, whatever else, or you can go with taking both sides off and just have the 2 and it can tip either way. That's entirely up to you, but it also kind of depends on how large you want the room to be as to if this is even viable. For going downstairs, you were talking about if anyone had any cool ideas for stairs. This was the last thing I came up with, and I don't know, I kind of like it. So, and I'll get into why this looks like this, other than saying use it as a line along the wall for where you stick the metal in to heat it up and then pull it back out. That was loud. Heat it up, pull it back out, keep working on it as you would with a smithy. And just do it that way, and I'll get into a bit more why I made it like that over there. Give me just a minute, guys. Okay, so apparently music gets very, very loud. This was kind of my idea. I went with 2 wide, because it's a bit better than just a 1 wide step. You could go as wide as you want. I'd go with 2 or 3 personally, just because it looks a bit better and gives the idea of, yeah, you can carry loads of material down and carry larger weapons or whatever else back up. But as far as the steps go, you could go with this along the wall, kind of a patterned look to light the area down there. Or you could go with just a straight line of top or bottom. They're half slabs, they can go either way. As far as going up the stairs, you could go like this to where the half slab is there on the bottom. And or you can go with it this way where the half slab is on the top. Personally, I like this way a bit more, just because it still provides light, still gives a nice look when you're going upstairs. And even when you're going down them, it just kind of looks mystical with the light coming out of the walls. This one, it being my first idea, kind of makes me go, eh. Because, like, here, it looks like, oh, lava's going to come out through there and just take your little feet off. Not a good idea. But that's really easy to do. Just, if you do it with having it on the bottom, you're going to want the steps to be back one farther than the steps that the lava sits in, I should say. Back one farther than the actual hole it's going to be putting the lava on the level of. So the lava, instead of sitting here, which casts an arc all the way through, would sit back here and give it that lighter arc type look to it. And it's lava if you should ever need it. Free cobblestone generator too. But now we get to the first idea I had. And I'll start by saying this was an idea I had for torches. I personally like this holder because it looks like it's holding the torch a bit more. But I saw... Who was it that I saw? Lefty Moo had some nice looking torches that used half slabs put in there since they stick out. That they do look pretty nice, and that's more of a stylistic choice as to which you prefer. But now we go into the smithies. I have a couple different styles I'd thought of, and then different materials. If you go with the stone brick, my only issue I had with it was it blends with the wall that I'd set up a bit too much, which I guess if you were to use smooth stone, it might look nice, but if you're going to have an underground area, especially if it's going to be a smithy, you might be better off using stone bricks, just because it will actually look like it's able to withstand whatever's there. And then, how did I forget this half? Oops. But the two styles I had were one that's, you can set this in the corner, or you can set it near the middle to allow multiple smiths to work at the same time, and just have it be the 4 wide so you can actually feasibly have room for everyone to put material in. And yes, I realized after I had made this that I made it a bit too small. The stairs on the bottom would be for if you've got a really long sword, for instance, that you're working on. You could if you're just working on the tip of it, you could heat up the tip and then pull it back and bring it slightly back and resting on the steps. So you could actually check the tip, check the both sides of the tip, and keep heating it up if needing to without having to pull it out and risk it cooling down a bit more and making the metal not as viable for a sword. Like I said, between cobble and stone brick, I personally prefer the cobble. And I did it again. What? But why? Why am I such a derp? Wait, I know why I'm such a derp. I've been binge watching Proxy Minecraft. Not like I'm complaining, though. Your videos are awesome. But, whoa, that's a lighting effect I didn't see before. Huh. But, yeah, it's really easy, really simple. This one is a bit more of a, if you were to recess it into the wall type look, it would allow you to get multiple side by side without much of a problem. But I like this one. I like this style a bit more, just because of the next part that I'll show you over there. I am just a massive derp, apparently. So, yeah. The reason why these are open on the top isn't because I just thought no one would notice. There's actually a reason for that. Actually, being night, perfect chance to show you. So this is what the stairs would end up looking like as you were going up and down them. And like I said, I personally like this look because it provides light, looks cool. As far as lighting it so that mobs don't show up, yeah, that might be a problem. Because, yeah, that's what I thought. It looks cool, but mob lighting and all that. Again, that's stylistic choice if you want to do that. Let me just turn this back to day. Okay, so this is, I did the jungle wood walls like you had had it. Spruce wood. Spruce wood with dark oak fence for a awning. And then just have it tiered up until the top. I went with this door. Do I still have it in my inventory? No. Spruce door. Not just because the wood looks nice alongside the jungle, but because of the iron banding on it, it looks a bit more like something a forge would have. And again, for stylistic, I had to put the two doors in because you've got the one that's the front, and then you've got the one that's recessed a bit more. Oh, that reminds me. Over here, the floor, you had made a comment about polished andesite. So I have taken the time to put polished andesite, diorite, and granite beside the forges to show how they'd look if they were actually with those for a floor. I wouldn't suggest anything other than like stone or any of the polished materials or even unpolished versions of the materials, something not wood or dirt, because molten metal will get in there and it doesn't end well. I may not work at a forge, but I know enough about them to know that's not something you want to do. Dirt, you can kind of get away with, but it really depends on if you're a smith that will realize, oh, something's come off and gone down there. If not, especially with a wood structure above it, it's better off not risking it. And in here, I know the light job sucks. Oh, the awning. I'm not sure if on the Castaway server you have a sea temple that you can find. If you can find one, or someone has found one, getting these sea stone lamps for under here actually does make for a very nice lighting effect. Doesn't look quite as well, but the lighting effect is good. I guess you could say do the same thing with like redstone lamps or something like that, or even just torches, but torches with wood right above them just screams fire hazard to me. And then in here, again, I didn't try making the structure the exact size because I don't have time for that. Not between trying to get my channel restarted and schoolwork and being sick and yeah. So I made this way so I didn't have to build two of these. And again, the materials on the ground are the three different ones. This is just if you can make armor stands, I would suggest it for in the store, in the smithy store, so that you can actually show, hey, this is our armor, this is what we make. Just typical consumerism stuff. But if you take the 4 block by 4 block forge style that's here, if you leave it open on the top like this, you can actually put it up into the center of the area. And then I think you have yours at 3 blocks high. If you have it at 4, you can easily just stick this at 3 and then have another spot like this right above it. But by doing this, you actually... it gives the feeling of the forge itself not only creates the materials in there, but lights the air, or not lights. Yeah, I guess it would kind of provide some light, wouldn't it? But it heats the area when it gets colder out. So it's actually a 2-for-1 deal there. And you can set it in the center very easily. And yeah, I wouldn't suggest doing that just because it doesn't look quite as well. Because, yeah, I already tried it. As far as, oh, this looks nice, but what about on top? People could jump into it. Already taken care of. You can, if you go with the cobblestone version, you can bring it up through and then you can use the cobblestone fence that I didn't know existed when I made the path over there, or I would have used that instead of cobblestone blocks for the torch holders. You could do it like this and then have the half slab there with the stairs above it. And I'll show you why I use stairs instead of something else here in a minute. The other option is just using a solid block and it looking like that. And then you've got, obviously, the stone brick style of it, which I will admit it does look kind of nice, but cobblestone to me just seems more of a smithy type look as far as the actual smith, as far as the actual forge and the chimney for it go. And then just because I don't like anything going to waste, especially something this large, and the fact that in order to make this, you would have to bring it out by 1. Which I guess you can just bring it in 1 and make the entire thing smaller by 1 block. But if you make it a bit wider at the top, you can pull this off and give your tiki people a nice hot tub. Yay for dual purposes. But yeah, it doesn't need to be this wide. It would just need to be about that wide, so 4x4, and then bring it actually up into a 4x4 look. And I suppose you could use steps all the way up until it'd be like the 4x4 steps, and then the 4 inside would be another set of steps going around in a circle. Give it a nice look, or you could just use half slabs at the top of them if you don't want it to be a pointy chimney piece. But having it this way makes sure that no one can jump in, nothing can crawl in, other than various insects. And that makes it safe to use it this way, and makes it so that no one can go, oh yay, jumping across roofs, oh no, lava. And then we get to this. And the reason why it looks like that on top is for reasons. So underground, I figured I would do this so it actually kind of looks the part. Because of how close you are to a water source, you could easily do something like this to where you have a fountain type look on the underside for them to draw water from. That would allow them to actually get fresh water to use to cool the metal once they finish pounding it into its proper shape and so on. Again, you've got the materials and then mossy stone bricks. I'm still new to Minecraft. I haven't got to play it much, so I don't know if this is obtainable or not. I know that mossy cobble is, just because you find a dungeon and you can find it. Personally, if you're going to use these for the fountain, my favorite is actually between the diorite and the granite, just because of the contrasting colors. But I guess if you want a more muted look, you could go with the andesite. Your other option is actually putting it into the floor. That way, if, say, someone ended up lighting themselves on fire at the forge because they were just dodos or lemmings. Lemmings might work too. And just didn't think. You can easily just, yay, no longer on fire. Still hurts, but at least I'm no longer on fire. You can, again, the sea stone lanterns, they actually provide a nice tiled look to the roof when they're done like this, and allow for light without having to go and put torchy. This, as you probably noticed one on the other one, is... Oh, I never did finish that. The whole point of it was, and this just leads over to the other one, is to lead it over here to a water source, flood this with water from the above lake, and that can be a way that the fountains get their water. So it actually comes up from underneath, and again you have access to a massive source of water. Or if you wanted to extend the actual smithy to the underside of the lake, you can fill it in and then open up a hole into the lake itself and have a fountain falling in. Which then you'd have to have the holes as a drainage system if you wanted to go the route of making it look realistic, I guess would be the way to put it. You could have a drainage system going out to another lake or something else. And here's the version over here. Personally, I like this version. And again, if you use stone for the floor, I would say the andesite because it blends well. Or if you use the stone bricks for the floor, go with the diorite or granite. Or you could just put mossy cobble around, like, yeah, the water's been here long enough, moss has started to grow. Same with if you use these for the floor and you can actually get your hands on mossy stone bricks, you can use those around the fountain to look the part of it. But yeah, those are just some of the ideas I've come up with. I know I'm not the best by a long shot, but at least I have some ideas, I hope. Oh, and for the awning, it doesn't have to be spruce. I just think spruce looks the best. And aside from acacia, because I don't know if you actually have access to acacia wood where you are. I don't remember if you came across any on the island. But I know that the rest of these exist. The oak, the spruce, the birch, and the dark oak. And this is just kind of a contrast against jungle wood look to it. Very, very easy to do. I don't remember at the time of making this video if you had jungle leaves on the top of this or not. If so, you could easily have this being like 2 high and a 1 high around it of jungle leaves. And it would still pull it off very well, as long as someone went up on the roof every so often to make sure vines didn't grow down in. Or, even though no one would see it... Oops. Not what I wanted to do, but okay. Even though no one would see it, you could go in here and put, like... not dark oak. Fences. You could put, like, iron bars or something on the inside to kind of give the it's a grate look to it. Or if you were to do it around this area, you could have it be like right here, and then just say, oh yeah, this is a grating system that we put in so that we can pull on it from the inside and chop off any vines that are getting too close to the smithy before it actually lights the thing up. But again, that's if you want it to be ultra realistic. You don't have to be, but it does help the look if that's what you're going for. All of these are really easy to make. Again, this is just normal blocks, not arranged any certain way, just half slabs on top of the top of the 2 that you can put for an opening. This is just opening with half slab on the top, and then half slab on the top every time that there's a stair. The next level up is the opening with the half slab above the opening. And then this one is the same thing, except the half slab is on the bottom of the opening instead of the top. For a chain look, just iron bars and stone fences. Very, very simple and easy. Stick an item frame down and then whatever you want in it for a holder, and then target the actual wall with the torches to get this kind of look. Stone stairs with half slabs for the look I went with here, which you can easily go with a normal look. It just looks a bit too bland, in my opinion. And then, yeah, like I said here, it's just stairs with a free inside and posts. And if you can make a fountain, you can make this. It's really simple. So, where's the... I think it's over this side. Powered rail system is very, very easy to figure out. Except to me, apparently, because all I get is this. I still don't know why. Is it just minecarts with stuff in them that does that? Because it has a chest? Is it... I don't know. I don't know, and it makes me sad. I mean, even when I... Nothing. For down here, it's just your one high half slab fence, half slab dock that you had, add another half slab so it's not just a floating chair. And you can just stick the half slabs, or stick the chairs on the now raised half slab piece, and then fences on the side for the armrest of the chair. There's an idea. Get rid of that. I think it's in decorations. Yeah. Oh. No. Do I still have... Yes, I still have those. If it wasn't for the half slabs, you could do like this and have it be that little holder that people can stick their fishing poles in while they're waiting for fish to actually grab the hooks. For here, like I said, it's a fence, a chair with signs on it, which I went with this oak wood because I thought it looked well with the dark oak as far as contrast goes. But again, you've got all the different styles except actual dark wood because it blends far too easy to be a chair to choose from that you can set along. And then it's just a half slab connecting to the fence and a full block connecting to the half slab to give the actual footrest piece a look. The footrest piece look. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And I just had an idea. Oh yeah, that was how I did that. It's a half slab, two half slabs out on the top of this one block area, and then a half slab up. And I did that because that just looks weird. Doesn't look the part. But I wonder. No, that wouldn't look right because it would end up looking like that. I can't set that on top of a half slab. Well, shoot. So, yeah, that's what I have today. I have to agree with some of your commenters, though, Proxy. Your lake area that you have is like 1 deep. And as far as ships go, it doesn't really work being 1 deep if you're going to have larger, like, trading ships dock that you were talking about. So you need to make it a bit deeper. Other than that, yeah, that's everything. I'm fairly certain. Let's see, covered chains, cover that, cover that. Yeah, that's everything. So, I hope you guys all have a good day, or night, or whenever you're watching this. And I will see you next. Of course, I forgot to turn my phone off. Whoops. I guess I'm just being a derp today. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time. Bye!